Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to Morning Brew. We get started by saying good morning to everyone. Good morning, Mr. CCDV. Good morning, Dave G Sound. Good morning, Birdo Prey 5. Good morning, Resolute Germ. Bonjour from Eastern Canada. Bonjour from the state of Missouri. 47-year-old town. Let's see here. Good morning, Mega Cropper. Let's see. Keep going. Good morning, Pacific 414. And hello, Devil Flyer. Not seeing you around, so good morning to you, or whatever time of day it is where you are. And JK says, hi, Captain. And, hi, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. How is everyone doing this morning? Good morning, Eric Sonder. JK's in the United Kingdom, so good afternoon to you. Just left the declared war on MAGA. I can't even say it right now. Need more coffee. Oh, thank God for coffee. Thank God for coffee. So how is everyone doing this morning? You know, it was funny. I was talking after the stream yesterday, and there were a couple people that were left backstage. And I was saying how, I haven't really watched anything except the Orville recently, because there just really hasn't. I've been watching things on YouTube, kind of some just some things that I've been putting off, and some other stuff I've been watching just for kind of self-improvement type stuff. And it's kind of been relaxing. But I have missed doing Morning Brew. And it is 6:35 a.m. where you're at, Devil Flyer. Okay. Yeah, you're in Central Time then. And I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Thunderheart is in the chat. Of course, the chat skips at that point. I'll have to do another road trip. That's cool. How deep do I want to go, Captain? I don't know. Arkansas. That's cool. I've been through Arkansas once or twice. I don't remember. I don't remember. And good morning, Keely Chow. Has the world going backwards in your head? Oh, I've done that before too. Had that before too. Except I know that what time it is here. So yeah, it's 6:35 in the morning or 6:38 in the morning now. What's going on? Not too much, Keely. Not too much. Do you want to come up here? I've never seen you on a panel before. And yeah, it's about 4:39 in about 4:40 where Mr. CCTV is. Well, I have liked it. There have been a lot of people who haven't for various reasons, mostly because of the more serious tone, which I actually liked. There were a few issues I had per episode, but again, overall, for me, it was a positive experience. I didn't care for the final episode. I did like the fact that they wrapped up some loose ends because, quite honestly, who knows what's going to happen? If people want a season 4, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So, and good morning, Channel 66. How are you this morning, my friend? Yep, Mr. CCTV, Rod Thunderheart is rocking the trucker life. You're right. Good morning, Pops. JK says it's 12:39 here in London. That's right, 12:39 there in London. Oh, 12:41. It would be afternoon. That's correct. Good morning, Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Let's see here. But so how is everyone today? I could say today because, well, wherever you are, it is today. It just may not happen to be the same day. So let's see here. You know what? I forgot to shout my own string. I was actually busy this morning listening to the music and kind of dancing along. It's kind of difficult in my chair, but still kind of fun. Oh, awesome. YouTube's taking subscribers away. Yay, YouTube, you suck. Oh. And let's see here. Pop says, question: do you think Orville is getting more political in season 3? Help or hurt their chances of season 4? Well, see, I don't see it as getting more political. Yes, it's dealing with some issues, but you know, the original series dealt with the same type of issues, but did so in a way that was not heavy-handed, was not, you know, forcing a judgment on you. Although it did oftentimes side on one side or another, um, depending on the issue. And quite honestly, the Orville has really left you to decide for yourself whether it was a good decision or bad. And they haven't come out and, unlike other shows, they haven't come out and reamed fans for not liking their decisions. That's one of the things I do like that Seth MacFarlane has done. It's just been, um, people are free to express their opinion. Quite honestly, I would like to see him on a panel with some people. Although I think getting him on a panel would be really difficult, even for the biggest channels, let alone a little channel like mine. Bone, good morning, Bone. And you still in the hospital with appendicitis. Ouch. I am sorry to hear that. Yeah, there's somebody else that had been away for a while that I found out why they'd been away. I was a little surprised. So, yeah, appendicitis for 8 days. That would not be good. Well, I see your I see your point. I do. I don't agree, but there were things that, like, they dealt with Topa that had been brought up in season 1, or was that 2? Oh God. This is why I need more coffee. This is definitely why I need more coffee. I need to just bring in a coffee pot in here and just have it. Ouch. Kind of slept wrong, so my neck is kind of hurting a little bit this morning, but needless to say, anyhow, how is everyone today? I know that Bone is not doing great. I'm sorry to hear that. Couldn't eat for the first 7 days. Finally had real food yesterday. And good morning to the T-shirted historian. How are you this morning? So, real food, that would be good. And good morning to you. Rod says, just hook it to my veins. Yeah, there are times I feel that way myself. I know Rod won't be able to join us this morning because he's going to be driving, so that would not be the best. But I am going to go ahead and put the StreamYard link out there for anyone who cares to join. Let me go ahead and pin that. And good morning, like I said, good morning, T-shirt historian. Let's see here. Let's see who is in back this morning. All right. Let's see. We've got Mr. CCDV who's back here. Good morning.
Good morning. 2 days in a row.
Yes, I know. 2 days in a row where you're awake. That's surprising.
That is wrong. That is wrong. I should be sleeping for 3 or 4 more hours.
So why aren't you asleep?
I don't know. It's got to be the disease. It's got to be the disease.
I would tend to agree, but you know.
There's okay. So, you know, the fun fact is when you have the disease and you can't sleep. If you are in your own home and you're able to get on YouTube and get on the internet and all that stuff, you got people to talk to all night long, right?
This is true.
And now here it is, 5 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept.
Just about.
Yeah, I haven't slept for 22 hours, I think. And still, I'm hanging out with you, and thank you very much.
No, you're quite welcome.
But it's one of those things you just got to get used to it, and unfortunately, I have to get used to it. So sometimes I can sleep, and sometimes I can't.
Absolutely. And let's see here. Bone, of course, even in the hospital, is throwing out links.
Of course. That is a dedicated wrench right there.
Absolutely. So
I
anyone
love that.
who isn't subscribed to T-shirt historian, go ahead and subscribe. I actually encourage people to throw out links in the chat because I think the saying "we grow together" should be more than just a slogan.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's the slogan for Orville Nation. Yeah.
Correct.
Whew, thank you. I'm sorry. Even though I'm awake, my brain is slowing the hell down. So.
Absolutely, that happens.
Sorry about that.
Part of that is going to be lack of sleep. Part of that is probably going to be with the disease and all.
Oh yeah, and when I went to Phoenix Fan Fusion, I lost all of Saturday, like all of Saturday. It was all gone. I don't remember any of Saturday. I remember getting into my wheelchair and getting my kids to put the framework around my wheelchair because I was going as Captain Pike, the original Captain Pike.
Mm-hmm.
and we got into the things that are in hotels that go up and down.
Elevator.
We got into the elevator, and I blacked out. All of Saturday is a complete loss for me. I have no idea if I was able even to get to the con.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is the disease. I mean, obviously the drinking doesn't help, but the disease is what caused that. That's all right though. It's all right. I'm fine now. I think. Am I slurring too bad?
No.
Right on.
Dungeons and Dragons discussions later today in about 2 hours. Let me see here. Go ahead. Add as moderator. You can put in the link if you already have it. And thank you, Dave, for putting in Devil Flyer's link.
There you go.
Let me go there myself.
Right on. I would prefer that you not give me a wrench, so I don't have to deal with the logistics of everything. I could do it, I just don't want to. So I prefer to be your guest if that's fine with you.
Oh, that's certainly fine. There are people that I have that have said, "Don't give me a wrench." It's like, okay, I won't. Other people, it's like,
I feel responsible, right? Like I go on somebody's channel and they gave me a wrench, and I'm like, oh, now I'm responsible. I have to be on YouTube every single day in order to be a wrench for this person. Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. There's a reason I'm retired.
well, there are some channels that the ones that have given me a wrench, I tend to go on more.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm not obligated to go on anyone's channel, regardless of whether they give me a wrench or not.
Let me go ahead and sure the historian went ahead and put in the link for that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the notification on so I'm ready when it starts. Interesting to watch.
T-shirted historian.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. I'm subscribed and I got the bell rung and everything.
Of course, I made sure of that myself. Just because I think I'm subscribed doesn't mean that YouTube hasn't unsubscribed me.
Yeah, exactly. So I do have to go back and check sometimes. But
that's
I
one
mean,
of the things.
Seriously, like 6 hours a day, swinging a pickaxe and throwing a shovel full of dirt over into the front yard. Oh, God, my back hurts so much. But it's a lot more fun than I remember it being when I was in the army and I was digging trenches all the time. You know? It's like, it's a lot more fun now than it was 20 years ago.
Well, let's see here. You weren't under the gun for anything now.
Oh, that's
unlike 20
true.
years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
It's like, you've got X amount of time to do this, you do this now.
I actually dug the first trench, right? And I dug the trench down from the gate where I could put my cars in the backyard and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the line there. It's a pink line. It's funny. But yeah, I put that there. And so I finally finished the trench or 2 days ago. I finished the trench to make that line go
Uh,
perfectly flat from the chain link fence to the driveway at the front of my house. Right, so I finally got that done, and then I just started walking back and forth, and I went, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so in 2 weeks I'm gonna be done with leveling this driveway.
And good morning, Devil Flyer. How are you this morning?
Hello. I think you've been on Lorenzo's channel with me before, haven't you?
I don't.
Slee Stack. I'm sub.
Yes,
I've been sub.
I've been on streams with you before.
Okay. I was thinking I was on the stream with Captain before.
I think it has. Yeah, I think we have been on before.
Mm-hmm. Do you go on Lorenzo Slee Stack's channel?
I have. Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
that's
So.
probably where I've been sub to you for a while.
There.
Uh,
Okay, so I'm there.
oh, that is the face of someone who's been up for a while.
The slee stack. Well, that's
Yeah,
what I thought I was doing.
Yeah, Land of the Lost.
Yep.
Love it, love it.
Okay, now Gorilla's random thoughts. What movie do you have to defend on Thursday night? I love that. The people will suggest movies for him to have to defend.
So the Orville is finished, finito. Season
Correct.
three's over with.
That's correct.
Yeah, it went to Hulu. I get hard copies, so I don't see it on TV. But I have watched season 1 and 2, and
Mm-hmm.
I like the more serious men with a little bit of humor, But because
You
it's a
know,
little,
season three dialed way back on the humor.
yeah.
The
Well,
humor is still there,
even
Right.
season 2 was a dial back from season 1.
Yes.
but season three is a lot more like
Yeah.
TNG.
Well, how do you think that that'll affect the ratings of it? Do you think that pretty much? I mean, everybody, even from season 1, which was more campy, if you will, or
It was
uh,
a lot more campy, yeah.
yeah, funny, called it a better Star Trek than Star Trek with the crap that they're putting out.
You know, the amazing thing about
Right,
season three is they did such a good job, and they only had 10 episodes to do it in.
right.
It was so good though, and
Well, people are so hungry
okay,
for
the
good
last episode,
entertainment. People are
the
Well,
last episode
so
was
wanting
not that
good
great. Okay,
entertainment. That I mean, I know with comics, I always took the Marvel universe very seriously, and I didn't like the commercialization of it when they would do a Doctor Who crossover, a Micronauts crossover, a ROM, something based on toys. I thought that was an intrusion on the Marvel universe, and I took it very seriously as a kid. And I think people want to take their inner. I know I do. When it comes to like a sci-fi series, I want it to be good characters, written well, good interaction,
oh yeah, yeah,
good. With
absolutely.
all the ooh, that was cool. Effects and
I always wanted to see Robert Heinlein justified on film. justified. Now, what I'm saying by that is, Starship Troopers was not Robert Heinlein. It
Right.
was it was a great show, and I loved it.
Now,
but it,
were there books with Star Trek? Were there books written with?
Starship Troopers was like
Right.
it was like a 120,000 word book.
We're right. I
With
mean, it was kind of like Dune.
Right, yeah. Well, not quite as thick as Dune.
Yeah.
I read Starship Troopers before every single one of my deployments.
Now, I like the Starship Troopers animated series.
Oh, the animated one is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really like that.
especially when they brought in the Marauder suits. It was like
Sometimes I think that
that's more Robert Heinlein than the movie was.
sometimes I think it translates better over into animation than live action. So maybe that's the route some franchises need to go. And they did produce a lot of that stuff. I mean, I bought. I was introduced to Starship Troopers when it was on VHS. I tried to get
Well,
all
I,
VHSs,
I
and then when
don't know
oh,
if
yes.
you I don't know if you remember this movie. It's called uh it's called oh oh crap, I can't think of it. Okay.
I'll give you a second to think about it. Good morning, Scrambles at Death Dealer. How are you this morning?
I have to look it
Scrambled.
up. I can't believe I have to look it up.
Yeah, Bone.
Oh,
If you like Starship Troopers, you should check out the animated. I really like the animated. I mean, it may be a little dated today by the CG work on it, but it was. I mean, it's if you don't mind that, it's a fun romp. Really, you think season 2 of the Orville was Step Town with the time travel? Yeah, well, started strong, but uh, didn't stay objective with their politics. Yeah, I mean the politics are just invasive in everything, isn't it? No matter which
Puppet
side you
Master.
fall.
Oh my
yeah.
god. Oh, it's Puppet Masters. Yes,
So is
the
this the
novel
morning?
Puppet
Is
Masters
this
is fantastic.
is this the morning brew?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I always have to have coffee. How do you take your coffee?
Cream and sugar, personally.
Okay.
I get a real
He
big
says I
slug of
take it
whiskey.
very
I,
seriously.
g- I get a real big slug of whiskey in my coffee.
There you go. Well, I actually put like a slice of lemon in mine.
Ooh,
I am
Or
I
lime.
do that with
deeply.
tea.
Yeah, but if you like the taste of lemon, it'll kind of taste.
True.
A lot of people say, "Oh, you're putting acid in your coffee." Well, I mean, I guess so, citric acid.
Yeah.
But it's real beneficial, though they say. So I started doing it. Once I have it, it's like I don't want to go back. But there's only so much you can do. Other than that, I drink it black.
Donald
And Bone drinks it with
Sutherland.
cream and sugar.
Donald
Yeah,
Sutherland was the main actor in the Puppet Masters.
I didn't drink coffee for a long time. I was probably an adult before I did.
Oh, I started early. Now, when I was young, I would have it with a lot more sugar than I do now.
Well, I'm 56, so I've been drinking it for a while, but more so in the last few years. Uh, I enjoy a hot beverage.
When I was a child and a teenager, we would go camping,
Mhm.
and they would boil um, the coffee over the
Mm-hmm.
fire and break the eggshells and everything into the coffee and all that stuff.
Right.
So
It
it was
takes the
like
bitterness
real.
out.
It was real cowboy coffee, you know.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it takes the bitterness out. I had a he was actually a mortician. He's passed away sadly now, but that's the way he would make it was with eggshells. Now he would also put some salt in the grounds. Not, I mean, if he didn't have eggshells.
Right.
Right.
Well, you put a little bit of salt in it, and you put the eggshells in it. Eggshells, mind you, because you're using the eggs to make scrambled or chorizo and eggs or whatever. You know, your
Was
scrambled eggs.
the breakfast of champions.
And so
You have your
you're
egg.
eating the scrambled eggs,
Right.
and you're drinking the coffee with the eggshells in it. You don't put the whole egg in the coffee.
Well, you put
You
the
don't.
shells in the ground and
That would
grounds
be.
and then brew over it, right? I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
you put shells in your coffee.
Right.
Don't try that, folks. You might choke.
You know, if you
So,
don't do redneck coffee, you don't do coffee.
I don't even like grounds in my coffee, let alone eggshells.
Right.
Well, that's why every time you see a cowboy movie, right, and they drink about half a cup and they throw out the dregs.
I imagine they have the
They're throwing out the dregs.
you. I wonder if you would get a residue of calcium from that in the
Good
coffee.
You
question.
know, I don't know. I've boiled eggs. I've
I
cooked
would think
eggs.
that
I've
on a
done
molecular
everything with
level,
eggs. I can't tell you.
I think on a molecular level, you just about have to. Although, considering where eggs come from, you need to make sure the shells are washed real good. Nobody wants chicken poop in their grounds. And even I mean, they try and clean some of the eggshells, but especially farm raised.
Butter. Oh, good Lord, Bone. Don't put butter in your coffee. That's not right.
Then it's kind of like toffee, right?
it, it is. It's like you're making fudge out of the
I
coffee.
do like
That
I
ain't
don't do
right.
the margarines anymore or anything like that. I'd go with real butter as long as I can get it at an affordable price. Some places are just were outrageous with it before. Did you notice that they did away with the Land O'Lakes squaw?
Yes.
I did see that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of annoying.
do away with Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben and anything that might be controversial. Rebranding. So what does that say about your confidence in your brand? Oh, we've been Land O'Lakes with this Native American on the. I mean, it's kind of like Columbia Pictures had the woman with the torch, and then they redo. I think they kind of redid the design in the '80s.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, upgrade. But I mean, to totally do away with your quote mascot or your icon, or I mean, Coca-Cola's had the same logo for a century or more,
Right, but Coca-Cola didn't
and it's
have.
easily recognizable. Now, yeah, I know
But
that's just a
Coca-Cola
logo.
didn't have. They got Santa Claus and they got the freaking white bears and stuff. But
The people
Yeah.
that complain and say we're not going to buy your butter because there's that lady on there, and that's not kosher anymore. Probably don't buy your butter anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. And good afternoon, Mountains of Elysium.
I can tell Captain's
hey,
very discerning. He did not go for my ploy of dropping me a wrench. So
the Emerald Man is
immediately.
back. Well, I suspect the Emerald Man has been on your channel multiple times.
Is Green Lantern here?
Mountains of Elysium, the
Or
Emerald
is it a
Man.
leprechaun who's escaped from Ireland?
I know I've been
He's
gone a long while. I
he's
don't
still
think I've
stuck
been
in
gone that
Ireland.
long.
So Mountains of Elysium is in Ireland.
Captain Freedom Nerd. Okay, so you're a nerd, and you stand for freedom. Am I correct in my assessment there?
Well, I do stand for freedom, but it is fandom nerd.
Oh, fandom.
Ah,
I'm sorry.
different
Okay, yeah,
fandoms.
I'm from Arkansas. I can't read, so
I've heard of Arkansas.
yeah, some people have.
See, I was in Arkansas,
We
not
gave you
Arkansas.
we gave you Alan Ladd. You know Alan Ladd? You may be too young to know Alan Ladd.
Oh yeah.
Alan Ladd Jr.,
He was in Shane.
the skipper, the skipper.
We gave you no, yeah, right. He was an Alan too. Spelled it right.
Alan Ladd Jr., thank you.
Right, Junior. Yeah, he spelled it right. Alan, like my middle name. And then we gave you Cash. We gave you Johnny Cash, and we gave you General MacArthur.
Holy crap.
You,
Johnny Cash did come from Missouri, didn't he? Holy
no,
cow.
no, he's just
Arkansas, sorry.
where I am, Dice, Arkansas. Now that was a socialist experiment that whole by FDR. In fact, Eleanor Roosevelt came and dedicated the town back in the 40s. They gave everybody a mule and so much land and so much seed.
Yeah.
And they also did it in one other town up in Wyoming, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a socialist experiment that they did. And Johnny Cash, and then they also have a Major League Baseball player that came from there, and it's just out in the fields. Even today, there's nothing there. No big tourist trap or anything. We also gave Glenn Campbell and Bill Clinton. I'm sorry for that.
Well, no.
I actually shook his hand.
You should retract that.
I know. I believe me, if I could pull it back, I would. I shook his hand when he was running for governor, and I'm still trying to get the slick willy off my hand. So
I was, you know what? I've got a story very similar. I was in the 1st Cav Division band, and we played in Austin, Texas, and I shook George W. Bush's hand. so I get it.
Well, you know, there's a famous picture of a younger Bill Clinton, just I don't want to say boy, but a younger man, younger boy, in his teens, I guess, shaking JFK's hand. And even at that time, when I shook his hand, I thought, man, I should have a picture of this because he may be president one day. And sure enough.
Unfortunately, good morning, Ron Moore.
Mega Cropper, I was not flying anything in anywhere. I was playing bass and blowing the tuba. That's what I was doing.
So I work at night, so I 4 or 5 hours sleep in the recliner. Came home, crashed after I went on a stream just for a bit to say hi, and then and I have some mailing to do, so I have to get that out today, wrap everything up. In fact, one of the pieces I have to get scanned. I don't want to send it off without getting it scanned.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, laundry, cleaning, morning brew, you know. I've had one cup today so far with a little bit of lemon juice. I didn't want to buy a whole bag of lemons, so.
Right.
Well, I'm going with the cinnamon addition to my coffee this morning.
Oh, okay. Now, how do you do that? Do you just put a little bit of cinnamon in the grounds and brew over it, or?
When I was a teetotaler, yes, that is what I did.
Oh,
However,
oh, is the cinnamon in the whiskey?
I'm not a teetotaler anymore.
Okay, so there may be some Fireball or something.
There's a little bit of fireball in the coffee this morning.
Okay, all right. I'm on the right plane with you then. Yeah, I went and picked up some beer and a couple of bottles of wine the other night. As a matter of fact,
You
I
know,
got to restock the wine rack every now and then.
I bought a bottle of wine because I was planning to do uh, coq au vin, which is a French chicken fricassee is basically what it is, right? But you pour a whole bottle of wine in it, and so I
Wow.
went and bought the bottle of wine, and I drank the wine, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn this chicken into a smoked chicken, so I put it on my smoker in the backyard instead of turning it into coq au vin.
Well, plans change. Plans change.
Hey, I drank the van and I put the I put the cock on the barbecue.
Now, Captain, do you ever binge watch anything?
Oh. Now, there have been a few times I have. Um,
Since I get
let's see.
hard copies of everything like Orville, I'll sit down and watch a whole season, binge
Yeah.
watch. I find it more comprehensive that way because when you're waiting a whole week in between episodes, if they don't do a good job with the writing of, you know, tying things in or
You know, one of the things I'm missing about the streaming services is that you don't get the extras, right? So I got back from
yeah.
Iraq in 2006.
Well,
I got
thank you
back
for
from
your service.
uh, I, proud to serve, proud to serve. But yeah, I
What
got
what
back in
what branch were you in, if you don't mind me asking?
Army.
Okay.
Yeah. The story I'm telling, though, I can go into my branch's service if you want to, but the story I'm telling, I got back in 2006, and
Hmm.
so the third season of Enterprise came out on
Mhm.
DVD, and my ex-wife bought the the season for me, and I watched every single um, extra that was there with it. It was
Right.
fantastic. You
Yeah,
don't get that with streaming services anymore.
right.
Mm-mm.
And you don't own anything.
That's true. And when I did leave her, she sold all my shit. So I don't actually own anything anymore.
Well, there is an advantage to that, really. I mean, it is quite freeing. I my first collection that I've been collecting since a child and personal stuff burned up in a fire in '97. But I would say I probably have a different, but a better collection today. You just get back up on that horse, but it was freeing for a while not to have that in my life.
Gorillas, random thoughts. I
You don't have
apologize.
to dust
Uh,
it. You don't have to display
well,
it.
you know what? I don't even have to apologize. I was not a ground pounder. I was a logistics. Uh,
I was a Starship Trooper out there on the field.
I did fuel
Hmm.
Oh,
for my first
explosive
three
situation,
deployments. I did
possibly.
fuel.
Yeah.
So I was not a ground pounder. Now, did I learn? all the stuff? Of course I did. I was in 3rd Infantry Division, for God's sake. 315 Infantry for my first year. And then I taught close quarters marksmanship. So, yes, I learned a lot and I did a lot. But I was never a ground pounder. But thank you very much, Gorilla, for saying that. I appreciate it, but I was never a ground pounder. I was never the guy who put the hat on and went out there and
So if you were going to score like season 1 of the Orville, now I know it may be difficult to go back and think about that. What kind of rating on 1 to 10 would you give that? Season 2 and season 3. Have you seen season 3, CCDV?
Season 1.
Yeah. Have you seen season 3 yet?
I have, yeah. I watched all of season 3, and season 3 is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, episode 10. Okay, I give you that. I don't like the weddings in season 10 or
Oh,
episode
spoilers!
10.
Spoilers! I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
spoilers! Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't actually like it. Okay,
I know in season
so
3 they deal with the child that doesn't know if he's male or female or
right, but they did it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got that from that, that it was. I mean, that's the way to. Now I haven't seen it, but to openly discuss issues and topics of the day.
Exactly, and that should be the way that the LGBTQ.
No, don't even try. Just SJWs.
That's how the community should handle it.
Correct.
It's like the gentleman who was sued multiple times. He was a baker and didn't want to bake a pro-gay cake because it violated his conscience.
He should not have to. He's got the sign in his shop that says, "I refuse to service."
Right.
I have the right to refuse service to people.
Well, I think yes, and I think that sort of the gay agenda has been co-opted. They don't speak for everyone, but
no,
I've heard
certainly don't.
I've heard a couple of gay bakers. They were on his side. They said, "Well, if someone came in and wanted an anti-gay themed cake, we wouldn't want to do that, and we should have the right to refuse that." So they came down on his side on it. I think the whole agenda has kind of been co-opted, like a lot of things.
Well, you see the avatar, right? And I'm not just a cook; I'm a baker as well.
Right? That's what I think. The Muppet Show.
I've done wedding cakes and I've done ceremonial cakes and I've done all kinds of. I've done decoration cakes that are absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I agree with that statement. LGBTQ plus person or not SJW. I understand. I'm just talking generally.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't care. You want a gay cake? I'll put 2 men on the top of the cake. I don't care.
I was trying to help him out there so that he didn't have to go through so many letters. Just abbreviate it and say SJW or whatever. But maybe I was.
Yeah, I do appreciate that because LGBTQ.
Oh man, a glutton for punishment.
Plus, yeah.
LMT.
Yeah, we're not going through the rest of the ones.
Right. Just recite your ABCs backwards.
I do know how to say it. Okay,
Yeah.
I do.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's just
there's a way. I think we agree that you can work current issues in the day. I think the original Star Trek did that well. It
Absolutely.
talked about the
oh
Vietnam
yeah,
War, it talked
absolutely.
about some things that were taboo, racism and other things
Well,
that
you had
really you could get on TV unless you talked about it in an imaginative fantasy way. Uh, Gene Roddenberry really worked some of those issues in without saying overtly, without saying,
without
okay,
saying it overtly. Exactly. You had Kirk and Uhura kissing,
right. And of
right?
course, Michelle passed away a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, it's funny because I happened to be talking to somebody about that, and you know, Hobby had high expectations for season 3. Um, quite honestly, I think they were probably a little too high.
Oh, for Orville?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's with anything, right? I mean, we kind of, oh, I'd like, we kind of have this ideal in our minds, and then when it doesn't live up to our imagination of what it should be like.
exactly.
I'm sorry. Is that a real question, Rod Thunderheart? Is that a real question? It's not a ground powder.
What is a ground
I
powder?
seriously, I'm not trying to make this into a joke, although it is funny. Do you want to know what a ground powder is, or do you want to know what a ground pounder is?
I think that's because he is on speech to text. So yeah, I think that's. I think he was asking about a ground pounder. What is that?
A ground pounder is an infantry guy, right? Boots on ground with a heavy weapon over the shoulder, maybe sometimes a pistol on the side as well. Okay, so these ground pounders are going into the towns and things and clearing them out room by room. They're kicking the doors in. I was never a door kicker. I was never a door kicker. I was a quartermaster. I sent food to the front lines. I sent water to the front lines. I sent fuel to the front lines. I was never a ground pounder. Okay? I never kicked a door in my life other than in training.
Oh yeah. Hey, you have a good one, Ron Mower. Thank you for stopping by. Always good to have somebody stopping by in the morning.
Now
All
we
right.
lost Olivia Newton-John yesterday, I guess.
Yeah.
See you later, Ron Mower. Right on. But yeah, I was never a ground pounder. I mean, I did the infantry stuff. I actually qualified as a expert infantryman. Right. That's like 27 different tasks that you have to perform, and I actually qualified for that. But because I was a quartermaster, I can't wear the award. But I do have the certificate in my. I've got 2 different bags with all of my military stuff in it.
Sam
So
Elliott is 78 today. Happy birthday, Sam Elliott.
right on.
Wow.
When he was
He's
real young,
only he's
when he was
only
real young,
78 because he
yeah,
looks a lot older than
I know
78.
recently, yeah, he's been losing it for sure. He was on episode of Mission Possible back in the 60s. So he goes way back.
Yeah, he does. He does. He does. He goes way back. It's a lot of fun to watch Sam Elliott. You know what? Chris Christopherson, when he started doing movies, I was like, wait, that's the country singer.
Now, we dropped a bomb on Nagasaki on this day in 1945,
Oh, is
Wow.
today the day?
called the Fat Man. Yes.
Oh, we dropped the Fat Man today.
Hmm.
Holy cow.
Wow.
The effects were still catastrophic, with the exact death toll unknown but estimated at 75,000.
Well, yeah, I mean, we obviously everybody knows the first one was dropped on
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, right?
Mhm.
But nobody ever thinks about Nagasaki.
No.
I can't believe that was today. Really? You are a really good Googler.
Well, no, I'm just on Twitter looking at something. Robert Shaw, I don't know if you know him, but he was in Jaws, uh, The Sting, Black Sunday. He was born today in 1927.
Another lost actor,
That's known
yes.
from Jaws. Yeah.
And there are people who can do the dialogue, you know.
And you're
We-
right, Bone lost a lot of good people this year. It's going to be a hard time, yeah.
Yeah, just in the comic book community, Neil Adams and George Perez, Alan
Neil
Grant.
Adams? Seriously, Neil Adams died this year? I did not know that.
Yes, he passed away about a week before George Perez. Of course, he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Oh,
George Perez, so we knew he was going to go.
right,
He
right. Yeah.
wasn't doing any treatment or anything, but Neil Adams passed away about a week before George did.
Well, when you get to stage 4, it's like,
And
eh,
Tim Sale, he also passed away.
yeah.
So in the comic book community, if you know artists, it's been George Perez and Neil Adams are two of the greats, the biggies.
I'm not that familiar with the comic book community. I mean,
Well, you have a
I
leg up on certain people. They wouldn't know who Neil Adams is.
well, the thing is, I know who Neil Adams is, and so even though
You know,
I say I'm not a comic book guy,
Did you
I'm
know
really
he
not.
Did you know he did the poster to Westworld, the original Westworld poster?
I did know that. Yes,
Mhm.
I did know that.
For the movie
Yeah.
with
I've got a Paul Detlefson. You know who Paul Detlefson is?
no, sadly I don't.
Uh, okay, he was famous in the '60s for his backdrops for
Okay.
Western art. Okay, I've got one of his paintings on my wall right now.
Oh, that's
Like
neat. I guess that's what they call it, backdrop painters in the movies. What were they called?
oh, yeah, what did they call them? I just keep saying backdrop because I can't remember.
Right. Apparently, it's contagious.
Oh, those incredibly famous people, though. I mean,
Matte painting. Matte painting.
matte painting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the matte painting guy, Paul Detlefson. There,
Wow.
right, and that's like one of his most famous paintings,
Oh,
wow.
really? Wow.
right? And so I've got that literally on my wall. It's been there. Well, no, I inherited it from my grandparents. So it's been in the family for 60 years.
Wow.
And I love it.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite painting.
A
It
friend of
is.
mine, actually years ago, probably over a decade ago, was fortunate enough to snag a Jack Kirby oil painting.
Mmm. Nice.
Oh,
And it's not anything to do with, it's when he went out to the West Coast and it's a desert scene of all things.
Right, but it's still Jack Kirby.
Right, it's still Jack Kirby, but who knew
Yeah.
he took some time to do that? I imagine the Kirby estate would love to have that thing back.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Now, I hope to
Wow.
put out a crowdfund eventually, a John Buscema book. I just sold a John Buscema and a Jim Steranko piece, but that I have to mail off today. But
Oh, Steranko.
yes,
Oh my
I, I,
goodness,
I'm
really?
getting this preliminary drawing of John Buscema scanned, and then I'll wrap it up and send it off. And
I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about because I don't know anything about comics.
okay, well, John Buscema, he with Stan Lee did How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. He was the artist that
Ah,
kind of put
Yeah.
that together, among other things.
Steranko is Marvel Comics.
Well, if
I
he
mean,
is, it'll be only a handful of comics because he didn't do very many.
well, Jack Kirby did a lot of.
But I think he was an influence on like Frank Miller that did Sin
Oh,
City,
absolutely,
uh,
absolutely. You
a little
you can
film
see.
noir.
Yes.
I'm doing an anthology with this character that you see on my icon, but it has three horror stories, three hero stories. It's an interconnecting universe. But the second project that I'm going to do is Silver Boa, which is a character that I came up with, I think, in 2018, maybe. And it's going to be more of a film noir, black and white, gray tone.
All right, that's
Maybe,
cool.
yeah. So, getting a lot of the character designs fleshed out now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I just do narratives. It's a lot easier for me to write 40,000 words than it
Well,
is
it's
for me
all
to.
about characterization, isn't it? If you don't care about the characters, it's not going to be successful. You have to compel people with your writing to have good characterization where they can identify, oh, well, that's in my life. Uh, I do that, or I don't do that, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Somebody asked me to write a short story. I'm like, okay, 20,000 words. I can do this.
You,
I type it
I
out.
tell you, I have rejected so many things, and I find now that I'm trying to produce something, I'm embracing everything that I first rejected, and I'm actually enjoy the little short stories, just the 5 pagers or even a 2 pager.
mm-hmm.
Um, it's
Oh, some of those are fantastic.
yeah, short stories with kind of a
Yeah,
twist at the end,
absolutely. I love
like
those.
Twilight Zone or Outer Limits, twist on the end. It's a lot of fun. And to deal with different genres like horror or sci-fi or superhero,
Yeah,
uh,
you can go anywhere with it. You can go
yeah,
anywhere with it. Yeah.
or maybe a combination mashup. Uh, there's a successful book that's had like 3 issues put out and crowdfunded on Indiegogo. That's Graveyard Shift. That's basically just the premise of the X-Men. What if the Universal monsters were the X-Men?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean,
that I
you're
like
kind
that
of
premise.
yeah, you're kind of combining the two. So yeah, you're right. You can do if you're, a little bit of skill. Yeah, I met Neil Adams a couple of years ago. I thanked him for safe restoring Superman to Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Yeah, he was a advocate for giving creators credit for their work for sure.
Wow, this has been an absolutely fun conversation. Uh, if one of the mods would be so kind as to put in the link for Loki's Mornings of Mischief this morning, I would appreciate it. I'm going to be wrapping up in a little bit. pain's kind of getting to me.
Yeah, I'm glad I caught the show today. Of course, I've been subscribed for a while. I just don't always up at this hour. Is it normally when you stream?
This is normally when I stream, yes.
Okay. Then I do come
And I
in.
do occasional other streams, but yeah.
I get on other streams, and some of them go all night, which I probably shouldn't do. But
Yeah,
work and then hop on a stream and then rest and then do my stream, or on the weekends I do different ones.
well, I've been taking the last couple of days off from working around the house.
Yeah, you've been
so
20 something hours. Yeah,
that does explain, I think, why I'm still awake.
Absolutely. And good morning, and over to Jill.
I do a mixed bag of things. I started showing collectibles and things like that, things I know about, and finally opened up to a panel of people and things, mostly comics, but I get a lot of toy people, especially a lot from the UK, or occasional gamer. But I try and mix it up. We had a great discussion on time travel a few days ago. The right ways
absolutely.
to do.
Sounds like it. Where did you have that discussion at?
Oh, it was on my channel.
Cool.
Where what?
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was episode 194 with Captain Time Lord Spock.
Yeah, you're not allowed to mention his name in this community.
Oh, well. Actually, it was, I'd say, keep it simple, stupid, and we did.
I like him. I do. But yeah. He seriously grilled me on my time travel knowledge. I mean, he seriously grilled me.
He definitely takes it serious. And,
he does.
And, I had other guests come in that had other good insights. It was a pretty good interview.
I was wondering where I knew you from.
Okay.
And thank you, Bone, for putting in the link for Loki's Mornings of Mischief. I am going to go ahead and wrap things up this morning. I do want to thank you, Mr. CCDV and Devil Flyer, for joining me on the panel.
I need another cup of coffee.
Pleasure to have you. I'm going to get me a cup of coffee after I take some pain medicine. Yeah. And I do want to thank you. I do want to thank everybody for being in the chat. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, do all that normal stuff. Thank you so much, and you all have a great day.
Wow.